Radni dan u Slavoniji. I first really came across Novska last year when I was on the train going from Zagreb to Belgrade via Vinkovci. And as we pulled out of Novska station, suddenly the train started going really, really quickly. And it's actually the first piece of track in Croatia that has gone up to 160 kilometers an hour. Novska is the entrance to Slavonia. And for me, it really is the gateway to a brighter Slavonian future. As we'll find out in this video, 48 hours in Novska, gateway to a brighter Slavonian future. Today we're here for Lukovo, which is the annual celebration of the patron saint Luka and also the Day of the Town. It's a 4-day festival where everybody who is badly dressed cannot enter the town. It's only people who are dressed really, really well. And with these three lovely ladies here from the town, and behind us we have really a fantastic journey into the past, looking at all the traditions, and people are dressed up and there's a lot of festivals going on and celebrations, and we're really going to look at the traditions of Slavonia and of Novska. And I'm here with a red apple because I'm told that there's a lot of flirting going on in the next couple of days or so, and the tradition is that if you approach a lady from Novska with a red apple, perhaps your chances will be higher. And my cameraman Nicola, in expectation, has bought a dozen red apples, so let's see if he has any success. So the main event is in the park, and walking around here you have just depictions of life as it once was. And there are a lot of incredible details about village life. Behind me we have a funeral and the mourners are going on. There's a school over there, learn how they used to go to school here. You have beautiful musicians, you have a guy who's cleaning shoes, and you have a rent-a-bike, which I don't think this fat Englishman will get on, but beautiful details. And what an incredible atmosphere. We're in the middle of October and at the beginning of Slavonia, and this is a region full of tradition and full of community, and it's wonderful, wonderful to be here. Ajme, to je to. Free the Manchester one. Yes! Did you get that? Did you get that? Yeah!
Dobrodošli u Novsku, u grad koji itekako zna čuvati svoju bogatu tradicijsku i kulturnu baštinu, ali i grad koji itekako promišlja o svojoj budućnosti, o svojim mladima i djeci. Uživajte u Novskoj.
To vam je rakija, stara negdje oko 2 godine.
Aha.
Ona kad se peče, bude bijela kao voda.
Aha.
I onda se stavi u dudovo bure.
Okay.
I nakon 4 mjeseca ona dobije boju.
Okay. And While the Lukovo celebration is an absolutely wonderful representation of the tradition and the past of Novska, and definitely one of the best manifestations we've seen in Slavonia this year, the real reason to come to Novska these days is to look to the future. A lot of people in Croatia think all the towns east of Zagreb are pretty much the same, economically depressed, full of emigration and no jobs and little joy. But Novska is doing something really, really different, and it is a town I predict within 5-6 years will be globally known as a centre of excellence. And this is for a trend and a sector which is really, really growing quickly that 6 years ago had absolutely nothing to do with Novska. Gaming. This all started over a coffee. What can we do to put Novska on the map to attract young people to come? And so this idea of gaming really started over nothing, and 6 years later, I'm in the Novska Business Incubator today. We have over 80 startups just for gaming in this incubator. They're coming from all over Croatia. There are apparently 376 gaming businesses in Croatia, 88 of which are based here in Novska, so they already have a really large slice of the pie. And now we have international competition in Poland. They have one of their members there who's got through to the final there. I'm 55. I was introduced to this wonderful space today. My kids are going to be laughing because I actually went gaming for the first time, and as you can see in this video, I wasn't very good. But what I really like about this is everybody comes here to focus on the gaming, but also they have more traditional things to relax, such as basketball over here and my beloved table football. And it was a pleasure, an absolute pleasure, to get revenge for July 2018, as you can see here, as I step up and score the winning goal 3-2. So England now is once again the kings of football. Yes! Yes! So the people here, the energy is amazing. We have this campus coming, which will be for 250 students. It's going to be student accommodation. They've got a lot of facilities. We've got the video here of how it's going to look, so you can see that. And also, they have this student room. They do lots and lots of courses in the summer, 7-day courses, so people can come and to learn how to do gaming and so on. So for me, the feel after 1 hour this morning in Novska is one of regeneration, one of excellence, and one of young people coming back to really reinvigorate this town. 6 years ago, they founded the Novska development agency called Nora. And basically, they all came around, they had a few ideas, and today they've had 550 projects. They brought in over 55 million euros of European funding into the town itself, a town with the villages around of 11,200 people, so an extremely big success rate. And one interesting statistic was that 6 years ago when all this started, there were only 100 kindergarten places in Novska, and today there are over 600. So there is a lot of energy, a lot of youth coming into this town. They're a very, very modern administration. They're really looking for things to do to make things better for the citizens. And as I said at the beginning, you know, it's less than an hour from Zagreb, just off the motorway.
Originally, I'm from Gornja Jelenska, this small village in Moslavina. 5 years ago, we heard about education in Novska, about gamification and game development. So my wife and I choose this education, come here. After 6 months of education, we start our own business, and now we live in Novska, bought house in Novska, have family here with 2 kids, and this is our story.
The teacher will take this into class. And basically what will happen then?
They have the whole curriculum, so we've written a schedule for the class,
yeah.
And they will teach children how to write code and how to execute the code on the robot. And the robot just move, dance, he can do many different things.
Fantastic.
Pathfind around the room.
Much better than when I was at school. Honestly, Grace, I'm really impressed, and I think you're doing a great job, and it's great to see such enthusiasm. One of the things I noticed very early on coming here is the amount of effort that the local administration has put into providing social welfare services for all aspects of the population here. And so if you look at schools and kindergartens, we have 4 kindergartens, there's a 5th one being built, we have 3 elementary schools, and then the thing I really liked was this outreach centre for old people. So the idea is to try and not institutionalise old people, but to actually keep them integrated into the community. And so they have this wonderful centre which has been funded by EU funds, but is now run by the town, where they can come in for a half-day programme. As you can see, we came in here today as they're all doing their exercises, and it's just something to get people out of the house. They can then go and have a meal. Over here you have if they want to lie down during the day. And so this is something that actually gets people involved in the community. It keeps the costs of long-term care down, and it actually just helps build the fabric of society. We went to the museum, and the museum is a really, really excellent collection of the history of Novska, which has been started by the curator's father, as you can see here. Some very, very interesting things, including this disc from Penkala, who apparently invented the chemical compound which made vinyl and then sold the patent to Edison. And so we're here in the library, which to me is a symbol really of how Novska's really working hard, preserving tradition and also creating things for the kids. It's a wonderful library. They've also got lots and lots of activities for kids, for babies even, and so this is again a big community centre. And so the big feeling I'm getting, especially after this Lukovo manifestation the other day, is that this is a town which is really, really looking after its own, which is looking for ways to make it more attractive for young people to come and live here, and it's working.
So you take this like on your right arm.
Hey.
Oh wait.
Okay.
Like that. You can put it.
Yeah.
And then you take the pencil and
Is that good? No.
when you want it to start, you just click this one
Okay. And then that starts doing something. Okay.
and you just go like
Why don't you show me?
this.
I think you're better than me.
You click it just like one time.
Okay. Do you have glasses? Do you have glasses? Yeah, I can see now. Do you have glasses for Maria? Do you have glasses?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Wow. How cool do you look? Amazing. Really good.
Evo, dobar dan, nalazite se u STEM laboratoriju Udruge Mladi u gradu Novskoj. Nastao u sklopu evropskih projekata. Ovdje provodimo aktivnosti iz područja robotike, automatike, elektronike, astronomije, malo biologije. Uglavnom, prije svega tu se zabavljamo i kroz zabavu puno učimo.
One of the interesting strategic directions that Novska has decided to take is to invest a lot of its resources in the future, not in infrastructure and traditional things like other cities do, but in its youth and in building opportunity for children and for the next generation. And we've been here during the day today, we've been looking at a number of things, and it's been really, really inspirational really just to find so many different initiatives and to find them all interlinking, interlocking, and to see a community coming together. So we went to the Youth Centre Novska, which is a place where children come together and they have lots of inspirational workshops. Here we were, really interesting challenge for within 10 minutes, 4 groups of 4 kids had to build the tallest tower possible using only paper. And it was really, really interesting just to see the teamwork between these things. And of course the girls won because girls are clever like that. And just one other example that I wasn't expecting in terms of things that you find here is this beautiful 200-seat cinema, which was renovated in 2008, I think, but looks as though it's been renovated recently. And this again is another conference centre. And what's interesting is that, Novska is not necessarily the #1 city in Croatia, but when it comes to cinema and new releases, they get the films exactly one day after they come to Zagreb. So there's really a lot going on here, and people are being very progressive. And then we went downstairs and we went to this quite unique recording studio, which is free for public use for anybody from Novska. And also if you want to come and use it as well from outside, there's a small fee to pay. And inside we have the pop rock school, so you've got people who have got like musical ambitions and they can come here and they can try, and then at the end of the year they all come together and they put on a concert and stuff. So this kind of sense of community I thought was fantastic, but this emphasis on the future, on children, on STEM technology, on science is probably best celebrated in September every year when they have this great festival called the Novska Art and Science Festival. It's a great event. Another thing that really, really impressed me here, and is quite often forgotten by other towns really, is you have a town where all the resources go, and then you have the outlying villages which are slowly dying because people are coming into the towns. And this is one of the big problems about the emigration and the depopulation of Croatia. And what Novska has decided to do is not to abandon the villages, but to actually invest in them. And so there are about 10 villages just outside the town, and each has a dom kultura, like a cultural house, which traditionally in socialist times was the place for all kind of events went to, and all over Croatia, these have really been dying over the years. And Novska has decided to invest in those, to renovate those, and to make them available for social enterprise and also for cultural events. And so we went to the village of Paklenica, which was the first of these, and we had this really nice sort of wooden workshop place. Wood is a very emotive thing here because it's what most of the economy, along with metal, and Novska was built on in times gone by. And so here we had like this thing, and these guys are doing new furniture, they're also restoring old furniture, and in the front we had this lovely lady from Ukraine called Katerina, and she's a seamstress, and so she was sewing, and so she's using all that space, all the costumes, traditional costumes and so on like that. These spaces are now being used for things like folklore and for gatherings, and so it's not just the town which is being invested in for the social fabric, but it's also the villages, and it really gives a very different feel to other towns that I've come across. And so I have to really say congratulations to the Novska administration. It's been a really fascinating 48 hours. They put on a great show with Lukovo. The gaming story obviously is a fantastic story, and that's going to just fly. But I also really like this attention to detail and investments in from everything from old people's homes to things for young children, adolescents. People here seem excited that actually this town is not only, it's not that it's growing, it's that it's giving more opportunity and activities and so on, and it's fantastic. And it's less than an hour from Zagreb, it's just off the motorway. It's the gateway to a brighter Slavonian future, and I encourage you to visit.